Okay, good evening students. In this video, we'll be discussing about atmosphere and its different layer, composition, etc. So in your previous classes, we have discussed about topographical maps and scales and every other aspects related to the maps. So hope you have no doubt in the previous classes. If you have any kind of doubt, you can ask me. Feel free to ask me anytime. Now in this topic, as I already told you, we'll be discussing about atmosphere. So, and the meaning of atmosphere, the structure of atmosphere, etc. So we'll see the highlights of the lesson. So starting with the introduction, meaning of atmosphere, we'll be knowing the meaning of atmosphere. We'll be knowing the composition of atmosphere, what atmosphere composed of. Then we'll be dealing with the structure of atmosphere, and lastly we'll be discussing the significance of atmosphere. But in this particular video, we'll be discussing in few topics till composition of atmosphere. Okay. Now we know that the Earth is a unique planet, as it is the only planet to us, as it is the only planet that is known to us that support life on the solar system. So we have not yet discovered till now there may be other solar system, there may be other planet where life exists, but till to our idea, or till whatever we have known, the Earth is the only planet where life exists. Okay, so there are many reasons why life exists on the planet Earth. The reason is presence of air. Not only the presence of air, water, okay, and soil. These are the main component for having life on the Earth. Okay. Now you see, you hold your breath for some time, you feel how you feel suffocated, right? So without air you cannot survive. For a minute, if you hold your breath, you feel suffocated. That means without air you cannot survive. So this planet is unique because it has air that we breathe. The living being breathe in air to survive. The Earth is surrounded by the thick blanket of air that is called atmosphere. Okay, so what is atmosphere? Basically a thick blanket of air that surround the Earth is termed as atmosphere. So we'll be knowing the meaning of atmosphere one by one. Now you see, the atmosphere is a thick layer of air blanketing the Earth, means covering the Earth from all sides. No one seems to know its exact thickness, as there is no definite boundary between it and outer space. Okay, the air is a mixture of gases. As much as 78% of the atmosphere is made of nitrogen and 21% is oxygen. So these two gases, that is nitrogen and oxygen, are the main two gases. They have the highest concentration in the atmosphere. Now other gases like argon, carbon dioxide, ozone, helium, hydrogen are the minor gases. They constitute only 1%. Now there are the heavier gases like oxygen are concentrated in the lower part of the atmosphere, so along with water vapor and dust particles. So these are the other heavier gases like oxygen, water vapor and dust particles. They remain in the lower part of the atmosphere. Okay, now now you see, the amount of dust particles and water vapor, however, varies from place to place and time to time. So every region of the world do not have the same amount of water vapor. Depends on the presence of water bodies, and may not have the same amount of dust particle as well. Okay, so that depends on the places. That may be a dry area, so at that particular point, that particular region may have more dust particles, that may be a water body, a region of water body may have more water vapor. So it depends on the places to places. So atmosphere is held in a place around the earth by the gravitational pull of the earth. So here gravity of the earth plays a very important role in holding the atmosphere. Okay, therefore this atmosphere is exerting pressure on the earth. So that is what we call atmospheric pressure, which is measured in millibar. So atmosphere is exerting some amount of pressure on the surface of the earth. Okay, that is what we call atmospheric pressure. Here gravity of the earth is playing an important role in holding this atmosphere all together. Now moving on to the next topic, that is composition of atmosphere. Now what are the composition of atmosphere? So before this we'll see the atmosphere is a combination of two words, atmos plus sphere. Now atmo plus atmo, the word atmo means vapor, or we can say a vapor sphere. Okay, so generally this term was coined at the by the scientists in the earlier days. Okay, at that particular moment they could not identify other gases. The other gases were not discovered, so they discovered only water vapor at that time. Okay, so this is why the name was kept as atmosphere. Okay, unable to identify the various gases that earth consists of. So today they have identified different type of gases, so the definition becomes different in present scenario. Now the thought that these gases were the vapor of some substance, the name atmo means vapor, and sphere was given to the gases around the earth. Okay, so this is the meaning, and you can say the definition of the atmosphere as per the earlier theories. Now nitrogen and oxygen, as I already told you, nitrogen and oxygen together makes 99% of the volume of gases in the atmosphere. Okay, so these are the two important gases that are majorly present in the atmosphere. Now there are some other gases in the atmosphere like carbon dioxide, ozone, ozone, which absorbs the heat and responsible for global warming. Okay, so these two gases, especially carbon dioxide and ozone, they are the main gases that help in global warming, or help in maintaining the heat balance on the earth's surface, on the earth you can say. Now ozone protect us. So this ozone gas is very important. Ozone protect us from harmful ultraviolet radiation, UV radiation coming from the solar surface or the sun surface. Okay, and the lower part of the atmosphere, that is up to 10 to 15 kilometers, that contains water vapor, and it also has some importance, like water vapor in the atmosphere absorbs and transfer heat. So the main function of water vapor in the atmosphere is to absorb and transfer heat. These are the main functions. Apart from that, formation of cloud gives sufficient rainfall along the particular region. Now the atmosphere also carries microscopic particles. Now this microscopic particles, they are in the form of dust or in the form of salt. Okay, so in totality it is known as aerosol. So these microscopic particles or hygroscopic particles that are suspended in the air are termed as aerosols, and these aerosols form the condensation nuclei for the formation of cloud. Okay, so it forms the nucleus or nuclei for the formation of the cloud. So whenever a cloud forms, the water vapor get condensed. These are small condensation particles, you can say, or nuclei, where the water droplets get condensed and combiningly forms cloud. Okay, so this is the importance of aerosols in the atmosphere. Okay, now moving on to the next topic, that is structure of atmosphere. So the structure of atmosphere, basically there are 5 layers of atmosphere, that is troposphere, lowermost layer. Just above the troposphere we have stratosphere, then followed by stratosphere you have mesosphere, then thermosphere and exosphere. So regarding each of these Atmospheric layer we'll be discussing in the next class. For today, we'll conclude with this topic. Thank you.